This is your girl. This is your girl singing it on YouTube. Hello, hello, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Please come in. Please hit the thumbs up button. And please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It should be at the bottom of this video, or it should be in the right hand corner where you should hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time Seeing and Knowing comes on. I'm also The Knowing on Facebook. Please follow my Facebook page. You'll know it's me because you're going to always see that red forerunner. That's how you'll know that it's me, The Knowing. For those of you who do not know, I am Dr. Lisa Knowing, and this is my YouTube channel, bringing motivational, hey Miss Sharon, motivation to everyone, bringing stories, true life stories, and telling things about myself. So come on in and join the family. We don't do drama. We don't talk about Pope. We laugh, we cry, and sometimes we try to have fun. But I want you to come on in, and I want to talk up on a topic. Hey, Miss Ivy, hello. Why do we stay? That's going to be the topic. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to come on. And your girl is going to get started because I want to take a nap before I go back to Facebook. This is something that's been on my heart, on my mind, ever since I really been started talking about the different things that is happening in the world that we live in. It's so much happening. Hey, Miss Vibe. Hey, girl. Hey. And it's not just happening in just relationships. It deals with relationships because everything we do is a relationship. But it could deal with the church. It could deal with people within your family. It could deal with your work family. So it covers a variety of things. I've hashtag help. Hey, Miss Regina, hey girl, hey. Oftentimes we feel like we can't get out of the situation. And I hear this day in and day out. I told a little story about myself last night on Facebook. And it was a situation that I had been in. And it was just basically picking back off of a situation where the guy that worked at the manor as a nurse, that he impregnated a woman that was a vegetarian. It's a good story. If you have time, please go over and check it out. I'm going to get started on the conversation. Amen to that. Thank you, Miss Bobby. There's often times that we're in situations and we're around things. Thank you. I got the shorts the same color. Wild hoodie with a short, but it's one of those, little crop hoodies. But thank you. A young lady wrote me 2 weeks ago, and she was trying to get out of something. I never really say or tell people what to do, but if somebody asks me a direct question and they back it up with the reason why they ask, I try to pray. Sorry for people who don't believe in praying. You can just kind of shut me out for a few minutes. But I believe in praying and then deciding what is right. And then I ask questions. But if you are putting it all out here and you're telling me, of course I am going to pray about it. But we're seeing so many stories on here. And we're seeing so many things that are happening. If you all will allow, I want to use the case about Alicia Watts out of North Carolina and about the young lady Amani Roberson out of Georgia. Let me just get you up on the cases. If you haven't been following the channel, just listen. I'm going to summarize it. Alicia Watts was a 39-year-old beautiful woman within her community, had her own business, CEO of it, and had her business together. She met a man, and I'm going to tell you, things don't go south the first day or so. They just don't. They don't go south the first week or so because somebody is trying to impress you. Thank you, Miss Ivette. Thank you, honey. Y'all, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. And, hey, Miss Jean. Hey, honey. And things just don't get to the point where you can't take it overnight. Because most of the time, when you meet people, they present their best selves to you. They do. I said on YouTube I was going to be a little bit more transparent. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I was going to be a little bit more transparent when I get over here. And I don't tell a lot of stories on YouTube, but get ready. This is a story time for you. And I'm just going to open up and tell you a little bit so you will know that this or whatever has happened to these ladies could happen to anyone. It really could. Because again, people show you their best selves. The Robertson lady was the one that had the 4 children. She had the small baby that was 1 month, but I think the baby has turned 2 months. And she had 3 other kids, all boys. Her mother was fighting for custody of them, and they found out that her husband, yes ma'am, Miss Javier, had unalived her, tried to burn her vehicle. They brought in cadaver dogs, Lenny, and they found her remains. They did. They arrested the husband and then arrested his brother. Okay? I'm going to tell you the story about the doc. Everybody pretty much knows that I'm a professor and I'm a counselor and a therapist. Well, sometimes when things happen at the school, it could be basketball, football, it doesn't matter, soccer, whatever. The faculty, their professors, we go. Y'all hear me talk about this second husband a lot, right? Y'all do. So I attended a game. And I attended the game because one of my students said, Doc, you always ask us, hey, how did y'all do? How did y'all play or whatever? And you don't even come. And the person, I understand when it's hot. But when it's not hot, hey, Miss Marcia, but when it's not hot, why you don't come and support us? I said, well, I'm just not really a game person. You know, I have so much stuff to do, this, that, and the other. And then he said, we're going to have a game on a Saturday. And I was like, okay. I went to that game that Saturday. They looked up and they saw me and they was just waving, you know, because I had never went to a game. Because I was always busy working, doing other things, just didn't have time. But if my students thought enough to stop and say that to me, I should have enough to take out and go. At that game is where I met that last ex-husband. Hey, Miss Harris, honey, a beautiful picture of you and your mom. Beautiful. I continue to pray for you, but you're going to have some beautiful, sweet memories. And remember, everything ain't going to be good. And don't you let people tell you when not to grieve. Don't cry. You do what's best for you. And this time. And of course, we'll continue to pray. Because I know it's got to be hard on you. So, I met him. And you know, you can always inbox me. So I met him. And so, there were some students that had previously went in my class. And they had moved on up. And so they saw me. They was like, Doc, what are you doing here? And so they was on like a break. Because they did something too. And so I was like, you know, it's not really that bad, you know, in the evening. It was like, no, no, or whatever. And they was the cheerleaders. And I'll go ahead and say it was their cheerleaders. And so they said, hey, you want something to drink? I said, no, y'all know I pretty much bring my water wherever I go. And so we were all sitting there, whatever. So this man comes up and he said, excuse me, that was my seat. And of course, me and the students, we look back and say, ain't no names on these seats. You snooze, you lose. You get up. Somebody can sit down. We never even seen you before, And so me and the young lady, yes, I will try. Yes, I'll show them. Let me pull this up. Y'all hold on. Y'all, this is Miss Harris and her mother. Trying to focus it, y'all. This is Miss Harris and her mother. Isn't that pretty? That's beautiful. And I told her that she'll always have the memories that her and her mother shared. She'll always have them. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see the picture? Y'all give me some feedback whether or not y'all saw the picture of Miss Harris and her mother. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. Beautiful picture. Gotta have some great memories. Yep. No, of course I don't mind sharing that. No. All right, y'all, I'm sorry. So, great picture. That's what I told. It's a beautiful picture. So I told him, and so I said, there's no names on the seats. And so he said, but I was sitting there, whatever. So I just said, ladies, there's no need to continue to fuss about that. We ain't going nowhere. So we continue, to talk and everything. So, after, I was walking to my truck and everything, he was like, you and your girls stole my seat. Well, remember, they only had two beautiful, yes, beautiful young ladies. They only had 15 minutes. So it was like, actually, they went on back to what they was doing. And I kept watching it with my ear things in. Just kept watching. Really wasn't watching. Mine was on 100 more things. And so as I was walking in my truck, he said, you and your girls took my seat. I said, well, last time I checked, if you want to purchase a seat, you can always go to the reserve section and get a seat. You just pay more. But these aren't reserved seats. And if you get up, we can sit down. So that's how it started or whatever. And yes, beautiful. Thank y'all. Beautiful, beautiful picture of them. And so he went on to say something else. I threw my hand up and I closed the door to the truck and drove off or whatever. And so I don't know why is it that you never see people, but if you see a person one time, you will see them again. I don't know what's about that, but you'll see them again. I had never seen him before. So I just happened to be in Kroger, and he was in Kroger. And of course, when I'm walking and trying to get something, I don't really look up at people. They have to kind of look at me because my mind is on so many other things. And so he said, aren't you the doc from the school? And I looked around and I was like, that's what they say, I guess, or whatever. And he said, do you have a name? I said, I don't. I don't have a name, and not for you. So needless to say, for the first 6 months, I was just, extremely nasty to him. And that's when I should have realized why something is wrong with that. That's why I say why we stay in situations and in relationships when they're just not working. And then I realized that he and I got along better when he was on the road. I told you he did long haul and everything was peachy. But when he comes home, it was like when he was telling me, I'm coming home, Friday. This was during the courtship. I was like, ugh. Why I married him, I don't know. So that's what I started thinking about when people start asking me. When you see those signs, you got to move on. Because the only thing it's going to do is ruin your life. It is. It's going to run your life. It's going to hold you up to where you could actually been with somebody who was beneficial. And I'm not bashing them or anything, but I'm just telling you, warning comes before destruction. And I feel like some warning came. Okay? So when I got ready to, get rid of him, I told him to get out of my house. I don't mix my words. I just don't. I said it's not working. I'm not happy with you. I have not been happy with you. And I'm not going to stay in a situation where I'm not happy. And and so I said, and honestly, to be honest, since we're talking honestly, I missed every single sign. Will I ignore? And most of the time, you're correct. We ignore things that are there. And we try to overlook them because we want them to look better. But they ain't going to look better, Miss Avette. They're not going to look better because the person that you with ain't no good. And I hate to say that. I do. Even now I'll be back to relationships in a minute. Yeah, I'll be back to that in a minute. But let's go to relationships even in the church, even at work. If you know that you and those folk ain't getting along at work, and you're feeling like they talking behind your back, why would you go anywhere with them? And I'm not alluding to the case about the girl, because I don't know anything about their relationship. But if things are not going right at work, why would you want to go anywhere with these people? I don't understand. If you go to church and you feel like every time you go to church, them people ain't doing nothing but talking about you, and the only time they care about you is when you opening your pocketbook. Why should you stay? Find you somewhere else where they're going to appreciate you. Some people, they love to brag about. We got 5,000 members. And if something happens to you, you just a number. You're just a number. What if you don't want the armor bearer coming? What if you don't want this person coming? What if you need, the pastor there to pray for you? What happens if you need the pastor and his wife? It's so many people in line to speak to the pastor and his wife and put them on pedestal. You don't even have time to even talk to them because you got to get to a job, because you got a family to take care of. Why would you stay somewhere like that miserable? Now I'm going to flip back to the work relationship. They already been talking about you at work. So why on God's green earth you would plan a trip with them? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to the dog. But it doesn't have to make sense to the dog. But it doesn't make sense. I love to say the math ain't mathing. So in these relationships that I've been telling you all about, there were signs in every last one of them. There was. And the men like to get out and say, I didn't want her. What a nasty self. She don't even clean up. She don't even do that. But you don't mind getting on top of me and getting 3 babies. I guess the moral of this is, why do we stay in something so long and we're so miserable? That's even if a job, food for thought, that's a job. When you're on a job, and every time you get ready to go to that job, you get sick. It seems like something happened. Or they're a hindrance. Okay. Sometimes because you have no other friends, although they're not really your friends. And that is why some people stay. Some people stay because they have medical issues and they need somebody to help try to take care of them. Some people stay because of financial situations and they'll be in a better financial situation if they stay. Some people stay because they just love the man or woman. That's why they stay. But do they love you? Do they love you? You don't love me if you're preventing food from coming. And see, one thing I'm not going to do, what a lot of people do is the fact when I married my second husband, I had all my stuff. I have all my stuff that I have. It was my stuff. Oh yeah, you got to be careful. So I had all my stuff. I was independent, could take care of myself. And he was not going to talk to me any kind of way. He wasn't going to even raise his voice or elevate it towards me because I didn't need him. And I continue to tell you all, if I walked away from that first husband, I can walk away from anybody. Anybody. But he thought, because he said nobody had ever walked away from her, nobody had never done this, that, or the other. And I said, it's the first time for everything. You know, and he's been begging, trying to get back or whatever, but get back where? To somebody who don't even think about you? I know I couldn't continue to live my life like that. So at around month 6, you had to go. You had to go. You had to go, and you had to go immediately. And I know you didn't see it. But I don't know why. Some people are looking for people to take care of them. Some people are looking for people to be their punching bag. Some people are dealing with insecurities on their own. They're trying to put you in the same predicament that they're in. And some people don't give a darn about nobody but themselves. That's it. And they see somebody who got their stuff together, and they rather go out, cook out parties and everything, and thinking everything is going to be right. But we have to, as women, we have to take a stance. If there's a man in this situation, you got to take a stance. And you got to stand up for you. Excuse me. Every day you have to show up for you. And you have to look at it and see, who do you love the most? Him or you? That's all they want is the money. They see the good life and they want to be a part of the good life, but they don't want to contribute to the life. And don't say, oh, I don't know what I'll do if you go back to so-and-so, so-and-so. Let so-and-so, so-and-so deal with that problem. Because you have dealt with it long enough. So what this is, why do we stay? It's various reasons why do we stay. But now we got to get strong enough and try to band together and get out of there. Sometimes it seems like it's just hard to do because you may not be getting any money, and that person may be paying all the bills and doing everything, and it seems like that you're harder to leave, but God will give you double for your trouble. Do you want to end up like Miss Alicia, Miss Amani, and so many other women? You don't. And you ain't got to take everything either. That's right. I tell, thank you. You going ahead of me, Miss Bobby. I tell all my ladies and gentlemen, if they need it, You got to get your plan, ladies, gentlemen, everybody watching the replay. You got to get your exit plan. And if it can work with counseling, whatever, let it work. But if it can't work, you got to let it go. And y'all got to know when to let it go, to let it go. Don't pick it back up. Why would you marry somebody, divorce them, and marry them 3 more times, and all of them getting divorced? A leopard don't change his, overnight. All about the dollar. And a lot of times that's what that men see. They tell you what they think they want you to hear. But it's all about the mighty dollar. It is. So that's the segment of it. I just put up all the stories together. I will be back on YouTube because I said I'll be coming, 2 times a day. I will be back on Facebook. I actually plan to be on Facebook. And the ones on here, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I will try to tag you in, but I'm probably going to be on Facebook at 7:30, 8 o'clock. 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I will notify you of the time. I love y'all. I truly do. This has been a very touching topic for me because I know so many people go through it, and they go through it in silence. They don't have anybody to talk to. Y'all, this is your girl, Seaying and All Knowing, on a very serious topic. Remember, I love you, but God loves you more. Y'all, this is Seeing and All Knowing, and I'm out. Bye, Miss Yvette, baby.